He's hearing me?
He's gone, yeah.
Okay, you heard me good. Okay. Hello again. Welcome back to On the Line. I'm Christine Williams. We're talking about remembering the Holocaust today. Let's go now to you, Tamara, on line 6. Hi, Tamara. You're on the line.
Yes. Hi, Christine. I have called in already a few times, but I am a survivor. I was in the concentration camp in Buchenwald as a 4-year-old, and I lost my family. Somehow, miraculously, one God has let my mother through with my sister. I didn't know about it until 50 years later I met her. But now I'm talking about me. I think the whole experience in the Holocaust in the camp has changed of who I was born to be. And the suffering and the seeing of the dead bodies in a mass grave and the German Shepherd dogs, I seen that one officer gave a command and the German Shepherd just bit through a child's neck and the child bled to death and died. All these memories somehow stay behind. I did a lot of therapy and I did a lot of studying just to help, so to say, myself. But my whole life was changed. I came to Canada at age 19. That was my 33rd place. That means I have been in 33 places, including from Buchenwald. I've been exposed to different people, different religions. And in one way I learned, but in the other way it was a very nomad life. And it's a shadow that follows you throughout your entire life.
Wow, Tamara, you know what? I want to turn this over to Max now, because for people watching, this is not something you could calculate. Such suffering. I mean, we hear in our society about abuse, about alcoholism, about various victimizations, but what happened in the Holocaust? Tamara is expressing that she's taken that through her entire life. Max, do you agree? Is this what happened to you as well? Do you still bear that today? Do you still have the nightmares? Does it still affect you?
Well, it's sort of, it lives in you, you know, it will not go away.
It can't.
It can't go away. You try to lead a normal life. And, you know, after liberation, we haven't spoken about this for a long time because we had to become normal people again, and it took me about 3 years while I was in an orphanage in Czechoslovakia. And then I came to Canada, and I was determined to go ahead with my life. And so it was many years after that I started to speak about the Holocaust. But I try to enjoy every day that I have. Mm-hmm. And I love family, and I do speak a lot to a lot of people. So even if you don't want to, you sort of live with this on a daily basis. Yes. And it takes a lot of adrenaline to keep talking about it to people. So,
of course.
And it affects different people different way, you see. And there are many survivors that will never want to speak about it. And so it is, each person is different, and we each handle our own situations differently.
I'm amazed at the determination, though. I mean, when you look at what took place among the Jewish people, there's a determination that exists to this day to stay in existence, even with the threat of Iran. I've spoken to another Holocaust survivor before, in fact, two. One of them we interviewed here on the line. And what I find that I hear commonly is, well, what choice did we have? But there is a choice. I'm hearing this determination, this grit to go ahead and live as productive as possible. Avi, you're nodding here. You understand that. Go ahead.
Well, I fully understand it, because, you know, the proof is in the pudding that, you know, you look at the state of Israel today as an example, that it was created in 1948, just 3 years after the Holocaust, and you have a vibrant democracy today with scientists and Nobel Peace Prize laureates and universities and you know, cities, and this was done just a short time following. And so, and you look at other Jewish communities across the world, and you see, you know, contributions to society at large, again, in a myriad of fields. And the establishment, again, of synagogues and new communities. The chief commented about how they were, you know, the communities were erased, like in Lublin. Well, you know, the reestablishment. And so, yes, you know, the Jewish people, you know, said we have to look forward, we have to go on, we have to redevelop ourselves. And we're always looking forward. And you think about the Israeli national anthem, which is called Hatikva. Tikva means hope. And that's really, that imbues in the heart of the Jewish people. Hope.
But there's something we could learn, all of us could learn from this. Wouldn't you say, Chief Blair, that it's not, you deal with victims all the time, and it's not easy to be victimized. And if there's one group of people that was terribly victimized, it was the Jewish people. Yet you look at the prosperity of the Jewish people today, they didn't hold on to that hatred, that anger, counting all of the hatred and what was propagated against them. The Jewish people didn't do that. They moved ahead in productivity. And I'm curious how this makes you feel, because I'm always baffled by it, I'll tell you.
You know, I have to say, in the opportunity to get to know Max, he's one of the most alive people I know.
Oh, me too now. He's I met him today for the first time, and I agree.
Tremendously enthusiastic.
And it's duct tape.
Actually, and I have to tell you, you've got to see him when he's interacting with a bunch of kids. Like, he has them enthralled. And it's an impressive thing to see. And I think, you know, people react to the great trauma that some people sometimes experience in different ways. People suffering from post-traumatic stress. And you know, we hear that among some of the survivors. They require support, and they require, you know, the support of their society, their families, their communities, and these were all taken from them. And when you hear the stories of, you know, when Max went back after he came out of the orphanage, he went back to his community. And all of the things that he knew were gone. His house was there, but somebody else was living there. And to have all of that taken away from you, and then to have the courage and the fortitude to pick yourself up and to make a new life and to create a country, to create new communities and to start over again. It really demonstrates remarkable courage.
Something I find frightening today is very often you find that there's this apathy. People look at it as, oh, it's a bitter time in history. That's not going to happen again. People are concerned today about what's going to happen today, what's going to happen tomorrow, about their finances. And sure, we're all concerned about our finances. People need it to survive. But there's this apathy that we see, this thinking that such a thing could never happen again. How does that strike you, Avi?
I see that all the time, that, you know, they say, well, the Holocaust was in the past.
It's a thing of the past, move on.
Let's forget about it. You know, the world is a different place today. Well, you know, as we all know, it's not. I mean, you know, we've seen Darfur happen, you know, we've seen Rwanda happen. And again, you know, we keep going back to this because it's probably the biggest threat that we have today is Iran, where, you know, the leadership has threatened to, in quotes, wipe Israel off the map, you know, another Holocaust, but this time in 3 seconds. So, This is real. But more than that, the lessons of the Holocaust, I think, are important for everybody in society.
Yes.
When we deal with bullying in schools, if we deal with racism, Islamophobia, whatever it is, we have to take those lessons and say, we can't allow that to